Well, a really big question about the upcoming Blue Beetle movie has finally been answered, and it's tied directly to the villain, Carapax. We have been wondering how his origin will fit in, and it turns out, based on a recent clip, it may have given us a peek into a much broader DC story that traces its way all the way to Brainiac. Let's break it down. Well, despite all the Hollywood drama right now, Blue Beetle is still set to release August the 18th, and we are in that phase where we should start getting a lot of promotion for the upcoming project. We actually got a new clip that dropped on its official Twitter account, and it did shine a huge light on the origin of the upcoming tech-based villain. Now, as many of you know, Carapax will be the main, physical antagonist of this film, and we've seen him in a couple of shots, clips, and pictures from the upcoming movie. But if you're familiar with the character, his origin story is kind of odd. It's tied very close to Dan Garrett, and it involves an archaeologist and ancient artifacts, none of which seems to have a place in this movie. And that brings us to the new clip, which sees Jaime Reyes squaring off with the villain. So let's run a short piece of the clip.
What the hell was that?
OMAC incoming, Jaime. Crap. OMAC incoming, Jaime. Crap. OMAC incoming, Jaime.
No, that's right. You just heard the scarab tell Jaime, OMAC incoming, Jaime. Now, for those unfamiliar with OMAC, it actually stands for One Man Army Corps, or Observational Metahuman Activity Construct. They are cyborgs that are transformed by a nanovirus into living machines and run by a rogue AI satellite named Brother Eye. Now, interestingly enough, when you dive into the history of OMAC in the comics, it initially was created by the US Department of Defense, and in the comics, LexCorp, from some of Brainiac 13's nanotechnology. Now, we have seen a little tease of LexCorp in one of the opening shots, but it's pretty clear Cord Industries is the corporation that's going to be at the center of this, and probably will tie this whole story together. I always felt like Carapax's origin was definitely going to be updated for this film, but to tie him into the OMAC concept is pretty big because they have a long history in DC Comics and have been part of some pretty seminal events in the last decade or so. Now, more recently, the character was featured in Future's End, where the Terry McGinnis version of Batman travels back in time to prevent the rise of Brother Eye and invert a future where Brother Eye actually takes over the whole world and turns everyone into OMAC. So, as you can see, its history and its touches with DC Comics stretch way beyond Blue Beetle, and I do think this is one of those opportunities to integrate this character into the greater new and upcoming DCU, and would probably be one of the perfect pieces. Now, as you know, we're going to try to do more comic book pieces here, so if you'd like to see a full dive into OMAC Comics, what stories it's closely tied to, and which characters it's been mostly associated with, we can do that. Just let me know in the comments below. Until we know more, we're on the countdown to Blue Beetle with just about a month to go. I'm pretty excited for this movie, and it's actually what I'm hoping will be the superhero sleeper of the year, but we're going to have to wait and see.